All right, so take two. We'll attempt this again now that I'm sharing, and hopefully we won't be able to hear the distractions in the room. Today we're going to be talking about the quotient rule. We did the product rule yesterday, and clearly the quotient rule is used for when you have to find the derivative of function divided by function. Again, as of right now, we really only know how to work with polynomial style things. So radicals and basic polynomial things. When we learn logarithms, exponentials, and trigonometry, we can actually have some more fun. The formula, which I don't even like to write it the way they do, it's got too many variables in it for me, is u prime v minus uv prime over v squared. You notice that the top of the quotient rule is near identical to the product rule. Only difference is it's a minus instead of a plus. But don't worry, you don't have to memorize it. It is in the reference sheet. The only problem is in the reference sheet, this says dv dx, and this says, excuse me, du dx, and this says dv dx. So you need to be comfortable with the other ways of showing derivative instead of using the prime symbols. I'm just going to write u prime v minus uv prime over v squared. And I really don't enjoy cleaning up quotient rules. I really don't see a reason to do it. Usually they're ugly, and the only time that you would bother simplifying is if it was ridiculously easy, or if it was going to give you something really cool, or if you were told to write it in a certain format. That would be the only time. Do you like my new color blue pen that I have?
Yes.
It's bright blue instead of dark blue. Thank you to my lovely wife. Okay, so u is always going to be your numerator and v will always be your denominator. U is x minus 3 quantity squared. V is, I'm not going to say square root x, I'm going to say x to the 1/2. U prime is the derivative of that. Now, if there was a number in front of x, there'd be a chain rule going on right here in u prime. But since there's not a number in front of x, the derivative of the inside is 1, we don't have a chain rule. So when we go to find this derivative, we treat it like a chain rule situation. We bring the 2 down to the front, don't touch the inside, decrease the exponent to a 1, times the derivative of the inside, but the derivative of the inside is 1, so that's u prime. There it is. I mean, you could call it 2x minus 6 if you want to, but why? And v prime. Bring the 1/2 to the front, and then take 1 away from its exponent. There it is. Time to fill out the formula. F prime of x is u prime v minus u v prime all over v squared. Hey, look what happens when you square v. You just get x.
Wait, why?
Because
you add the exponent.
yeah, well, or you say when you raise a power to a power, you multiply them. But yeah, same idea. So this really doesn't clean up very well. I mean, I don't really want to clean it up too much. So only thing I'm going to do is get rid of the fractional exponents. I'm even going to leave a fraction up here because I just don't want to have it any other way. So I'm going to have 2 root x because this is the x to the 1/2, and then this x minus 3, and then I'm going to say minus. Realize this is going to be a root x on the bottom of this little fraction, and this x minus 3 squared will be on the top of it. All that would be divided by x, right? I mean, I guess you could, yeah, we could distribute it 1 over x. That's not that bad. I don't feel like it. I'm just going to leave it there.
I don't feel like it.
Because then I'd have to explain to you why this radical moved to the bottom and all kinds of stuff. I would just leave it like that. That's good enough. If you had to plug a number into that, I think you'd be okay. And honestly, cleaning it up doesn't help much. It does a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Wait, so why do you have the fraction in the numerator?
This one, I just didn't want to have a negative exponent.
Wait, why did?
Because this is going to be 1 over 2 times 1 over root x. So it gives me 1 over 2 root x. But this is technically an over 1, so it belongs on the top of that fraction.
Okay.
Wait, why didn't? Okay. Wait. I'm so confused on why the 1/2 didn't go on the bottom of the fraction. Like why?
The reason why this 1/2 didn't end up on the bottom is because of this minus sign.
How does that keep it on top there? Oh, because it has to be subtracted from the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This 1/2 does not involve the entire numerator. It's
Yeah,
only a
it
piece of the
involves
numerator.
top half. Okay. That makes
If this one had a 1/2 somewhere in it, then I could have factored a 1/2 and brought the 2 to the bottom. But
Okay.
this is good enough.
I understand.
This is good enough. Scooch. Okay. U is 1 plus 3x. V is x squared plus 1. And then we just find our derivatives. U prime is easy. It's 3, right? Simple. And V prime is just 2x. I'm going to write the rule again because I can't see it on the screen. U prime V minus UV prime all over V squared. And we just fill it out. Again, I'm not going to bother cleaning this up. U prime V minus U V prime all over V squared. There's really no reason to do anything to this. There's just no point. That's good enough. Easy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I don't know. It's a good question. And the reason why I don't know is because my calendar doesn't go past today. That was one of my tasks this weekend, was to figure out what's happening next month. I know you guys have an IB pullout coming up. Isn't it the 17th? February 17th? Here's what I do know. I thought it was the 17th. I'd have to check my phone. What I do know is that they swapped the order of upperclassmen, of juniors and seniors.
Oh, thank God.
Which means that you that day on the pullout day, you won't have math.
So wait, it's the ending, so it's our.
Yeah, the morning and afternoon have been switched.
So we have it for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
You have it the second half of the day.
Yo, that's actually so much better.
I'm just letting you know.
That's crazy. I have a free period.
That does me a huge favor. That means I'll have 3 planning periods that day.
That's crazy.
That means I won't have a 4th, a 5th. I have 6th lunch, and 7th is my planning. So I'll have students periods 1, 2, 3, and 8 that day. What? Yeah, I'm recording. Okay. Again, there's really nothing special happening here. At this point, we're just doing more of the same. I'm going to switch colors. I'm tired of writing in blue. I'm going to write in purple. Ooh, the only thing that's neat about this one is chain rule. U prime is going to require the chain rule. I'm sorry? Oh, barely on the screen.
My cousin gets excited over poopy things.
Okay.
I hate chain rules. He said,
So yeah, u prime is going to require a chain rule.
okay.
We are going to have to peel this thing like an onion with our derivatives. So we derive the outside, which means bring the 4 down to the front. Don't touch the inside. Decrease the exponent to a 3, and then multiply by the derivative of the inside. But what is the derivative of 3x squared plus x?
6x plus 1.
6x plus 1.
So good.
And v prime is just going to be 3x squared minus 4. Now, when we fill this thing out, it's going to be oogly. I'm not going to clean it up unless it is just shouting that it's going to be easy, and I don't think that's going to be the case.
It's really long.
Yeah, it's because it's all polynomial.
Yeah, but it looks neat.
I guess it looks neat. I don't know. U prime v. Oh gosh, u prime is a lot. There's u prime v. Wow. Minus u v prime. Good gravy.
She goes, oh no.
All over v squared. There's absolutely no reason to clean this up. Yeah.
Reminds me of you.
All right.
Long and redundant.
How about green now? I'm feeling colorful today.
That's kind of sus.
What? That I'm feeling green now?
No, that you're feeling colorful. That's making a gay joke.
As far as I'm concerned, they stole that word because to feel colorful meant something different longer ago.
Well, we've stolen a lot of things.
I agree.
Therefore, gay people deserve to die.
I thought you were going to say
You're gay yourself. Thank you.
No, I'm not gonna make a gay joke. I need my job. All right.
The gays don't need lifestyle, so.
Well, that's not a joke.
I did make a joke earlier though. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and do this one. Like I said, green is where we're gonna be. U is the square root of x, which is x to the 1/2. And v is 1 minus 2x squared. V is going to require a chain rule. Be careful. Whoops, it's barely on the screen. There we go. U prime. We've seen this many, many times before. Drop the 1/2 to the front. Decrease the exponent by 1. Which is going to be 1 over 2 root x. Just going to go ahead and say it now. V prime. Bringing that 2 down to the front. Not touching the inside. Decreasing the exponent by 1 makes it a 1. And then chain rule, derivative of the inside, which is? Negative 2. All right, we're going to call this negative 4. I will clean that up a little bit. Negative 4. 1 minus 2x. All right, fill it out. F prime of x. U prime. You know what? I'm gonna clean up u prime right now. 1 over 2 root x. There, that's u prime. Because that way I don't have to write this long thing twice. So u prime v 1 over 2 root x. V is 1 minus 2x squared minus u v prime. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. Not much, though. All over v squared. Also, 1 minus 2x squared squared. How about that? Yeah, I know. It'll clean up just a little bit. Or we don't have to bother. Let's not bother. I don't care. We'll just call it there. Sounds good to me.